to enter into our regular meeting, and so we are on May the 16th. This is 9:00 a.m. and we have some things to take care of. We begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Lead us, Bradley.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And a roll call.
All right, roll call.
Western Commissioner Hosey Blue.
Present.
Eastern Commissioner Bradley Jackson.
Present.
And we do have a quorum. Thank you for that, Mr. Jackson. We have, as far as I know, no items to remove from the consent agenda. Would you agree with that, Bradley?
I agree with that
All right.
wholeheartedly.
Hosey. Sorry. I need Paula to appoint the presiding for the meeting before we...
Somebody already appointed me. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, we're going to appoint you today for the presiding commissioner spot since Lynn is out.
Thank you, Ms. Paula, and thank you, Andy. All right. Then on the consent agenda, we have today's agenda, of course. We have the minutes from May the 9th to approve and May the 14th to approve, which we will do at the proper time. And as far as I know, Ms. Karen, no financials for this time. Okay. And so that covers the consent agenda, and I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
I second that motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We begin with Treasurer Matthews on the tax surplus approvals.
I sent you guys all copies of everything, and Austin has approved both of these. I also sent you all of our emails and stuff back and forth. The one for Weber and Hunt, that one is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be made out to both individuals.
Okay.
And that's the only way that Austin told me I could pay that out, is to make it to both individuals.
I understand.
So, the other one is the power of attorney, and they're getting, they've gone through, the mother is still alive, but both grandparents have died.
Right.
And so I've gotten power of attorney, I've got death certificates and all that stuff. So
All right.
he has approved both of those.
Okay. And we just need to approve it here, I
Yes.
presume.
And one for me to write the checks.
All right. I would entertain a motion to approve the tax surplus the approvals that were presented by Treasurer Matthews.
Well, I'll make that motion. I want to thank you for the additional information. It makes it easy to go back and see where everything started and how we get to the end point, so I appreciate that.
Well, those two, especially the Weber one, has been quite lengthy. And the other one, Gary, was pretty simple. I just had to get death certificates and power of attorney, but the Weber one has been a little bit more.
All right. We appreciate that. I second the motion that was made. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Treasurer Matthews on the destruction of records.
We've been cleaning house.
Yes.
So I also attached copies of the records that have been destroyed, and at the bottom of each one it tells you when Lee came and picked them up. I just need approval and for you to enter that into your minutes for 18, 19, and 20.
All right. 18, 19, and 20. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Karen.
Thank you.
Well done as usual. Purchasing Manager, Hopkinsville, Resource Manager, Director Lisa Hunt.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So the first one, this is a simple contract renewal. We bid this out 2 years ago. It's a request for qualifications for architects. We narrowed it down to 3, GHN, Inform, Torgerson. So this is the second renewal for year 3. GHN had no increase, Inform had no increase, and Torgerson chose a 5% increase, which was allowed in their original bid. They said it was due to inflation and insurance. So our recommendation is to approve the contract renewal at this time.
All right.
We don't have any new projects that we're considering at this point, but
Okay.
GHN is still working on looking at it.
Yeah, and the 5% increase is modest in my opinion. I've been dealing with insurance for a nonprofit, and it's astronomically higher than what it was last year, so I totally understand their increase there. I would make a motion to approve all three.
I would second that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you both. And then again, Purchasing Manager Hopkins Will, Resource Manager Director Lisa Hahn, and Planning and Development Software.
So this is also a contract renewal for planning and development software. It was bid out, RFP 2022-25. An award was made to Online Solutions, DBA Citizen Serve. We've had it for several years. This is for the first contract renewal. There is no increase for this year, and so we ask that you renew this contract.
I have no questions. I'd make a motion to approve.
I second that motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you,
Thank you.
Ms. Hopkins Will. Is there Mr. Weezahon? IT Manager, Mr. Rawlings.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Disposal of IT equipment.
Yes.
No, that's IT.
We don't need it any longer.
We don't, and I believe you gentlemen have a list there. This first list really has little or no information because the PCs that we inherited and the ones that were in the room that were in the break room there that got consolidated, we finally gone through because we were running out of room in there quickly. So we went through and looked at the PCs that we could get rid of that are so old that have no use. Some of the ones in here were manufactured in 2011. To give you an idea, we want to have about a, I say 3-year turnaround. She tells me 5-year turnaround. We're hoping to get a 4-year turnaround. We'll see. But, 13, 14 years for a computer is way too much. So we've stripped the parts of these, got what we could use out of them. John has done a thorough job of wiping the hard drives. We're going to give these over to Pitt Technology that we have a contract with to dispose of. Once they do that, they'll give us a certificate that they've destroyed these in a good manner. This is something that they do for multiple other agencies, such as ourselves. Like I said, right now we basically have no information on these PCs because previously every office purchased everything kind of on their own, things of that nature, so there wasn't a good record keeping of when it was purchased, how much it was purchased for, where it went, all that other good stuff. Since John's gotten here, he's created an in-house tracking program for inventory that anytime anything is purchased, or now that it's, he's gone back and pulled in the old inventory as well and put in the information that we have. So now when a new request comes in, we'll get an email from the website that he created, and once that happens, it shoots out an email to the office holder or department head to approve of the purchase. That goes in there, so the quote's in there, the approval's in there, how much is in there, when we got it, all that other good stuff. So going forward in a handful of years, when we start getting rid of the equipment that we have on that list, we'll have a lot more we'll have a lot more information to present. But right now, this is kind of the hodgepodge that had built up in that room that was in there.
Good.
And so we've got PCs, and this will be the first round. I think there's 25 PCs, I think 36 hard drives, and a handful of printers that we've gone through. They're just old and no longer usable by anybody. We'll have a couple of rounds of these to clean up that room. This is kind of, clearly PCs are a bulk, and so once we get those out, well, we've got some laptops in there to clean up and some other things, but this will just be the first round.
Okay.
All right. Any questions for him, Mr. Jackson?
No, none at all.
Okay. Then I'll entertain a motion to approve the disposal of IT equipment.
So moved.
I second that motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And once again, gentlemen in IT, we are greatly appreciative of the work that you're doing.
That one's done a lot of good work with inventory. He not only wrote a program for us to use, he's written one for the sheriff's office for them to use for all of their equipment to track.
So is he got...
That one.
That one is very invaluable. Mr. Beatles does
love my
an
neighbors
excellent
now.
job right there.
When we
As
see what has
opposed to
happened
being one
elsewhere,
speed factor.
Yes, sir.
it sure reminds us of how dependent we are upon your expertise for both of you, and we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Probably deserves the title genius, is
Yes.
what we probably need to put with it.
I always say he's the smart one. Brad's asked me several times, what do you do? I'm like, I go to meetings. He's the one that does the things.
Keep him close. Keep him close. All right,
Thank you,
thank you
gentlemen.
for that, and that finishes those items. Mr. Jackson, any communications that you have for our folks?
I have none, other than just keep plugging along doing good work.
I think so as well. I will ask Miranda if we had any additional flooding over this last rain that came through. Do you know?
As of the one from last night, I'm unaware.
Okay.
Dry Hollow's been closed.
Stays
Wilson's
that way.
been closed basically
Yep.
for the those two for the last month.
Dry Hollow's not dry.
Is it?
Never dry.
Well.
But no, I haven't heard anything. Really, our big concern right now is trees
Mhm.
with the ground being saturated. We've had a lot of tree work that we've had to
Yep.
do. So.
Again, express our appreciation to the crews, because I know this May is a challenging month sometimes, and this May has been the same. I don't know of anything else. Anybody else know anything on communications? Then the only thing we have remaining will be a closed session per RSMO 610.021.3 on personnel. So appreciate each one of you being here. We need to exit out of this at this point, Bradley, out of the regular session, or do we do that when we come back?
You'll just make a motion to go into
Into
closed
closed.
session, and then a motion to come back out, then
Yep.
adjourn.
I love that. All right.